Addie Muscle, at the age of 102, went home to be with Jesus, surrounded by her family on Sunday, March 20th, 2011, at her home in Caldwell, Idaho. Addie was born June 22nd, 1908, in Ontario, Oregon. She married J. Laverne Muscle on March 18, 1927, in her parents' home in Caldwell. They had 2 sons and 5 daughters, 38 grandchildren, 113 great-grandchildren, and 40-plus great-great-grandchildren. They adopted and raised 3 of their granddaughters, Kay, Donna, and Gwen. Addie was a loving Christian mother and devoted wife. They pastored churches in California, Oregon, and Idaho. She was preceded in death by her husband Laverne and daughter Rosemary. She is survived by her children, David Muscle of Georgia, Jewel Spoon of Nampa, Dorcas Shertle of Montana, Lois York of Caldwell, Eunice Bryan of Boise, Paul Muscle of Meridian, and over 180 descendants. Addie was loved by all and will be greatly missed.
To say that God blessed me with a precious, devoted mother, and I know all the children can say the same thing. They could say amen to that. There were 3 things that best describe her, and one was that she was devoted to God and dedicated to God. She was a lady of a deep humility, and she was a lady of faithfulness in everything she did. Can't we all say amen to that? Before I say any more about my mother, I want to thank my wonderful sister Lois, who has taken care of my mother for the last 22 years since Daddy died. Lois has been a person of deep commitment and devotion, and all of the children, every one of us, when we were scattered all around, were just so grateful to have a faithful sister that was dedicated, and I always knew that Mama would be fine because Lois was looking out for her. And I also thank Donna for her care of my mother in the last few years since she had her stroke. Donna was there helping with my mother's care. So I just want to tell you that from earliest childhood, my memories of my mother were of teaching us all about God. Everything in life, my mother related to God. It didn't matter if it was planting seeds, it was all about how God gave us seeds to plant, and whether it was seeds or snowflakes or flowers, telling about the intricacies of the flower. I remember as early on in my life that she always talked about God and His goodness. My mother was also a very grateful person. She was so thankful. And even till the day she died, when I would take care of her, she would say, "Thank you, honey. Thank you for helping me." I would just help her get in bed, cover her up. She'd say, "Thank you, honey. Thank you so much." She was such a thankful person, grateful for everything. And, you know, when I look back on her life, I would just like to live the way that she taught us to live. She always prayed for her family. She was a woman of prayer. She prayed for her family, everyone. And she would say, "Oh God, bless all of our children, bless the children's children, bless my posterity and our relatives." And she would say, "And oh God, help them to all serve you and help them to all be ready when Jesus comes." That was something she prayed continually. And, you know, just having a praying mother is a wonderful blessing. Everybody that knew Mama knew that she would be praying for them. And another thing is that my mother, early on in her life, committed herself to the Lord and made deep commitments to God that were inflexible. She had certain things, and sometimes I would say to her, you know, "Would you like, you know, me to do this or that for you?" And she'd say, "Well, early on I committed myself to the Lord, and this is what I will do." And she had firm commitments. One of them was she always had long hair. She always had a long braid and a bun in the back. And she said, when I first gave my heart to the Lord, I decided, you know, she read in the Bible about the hair being the covering, and she wanted to have her hair long. And sometimes I wanted to fix it up for her, but she'd say, "No, this is fine for me." But it was just like that in other areas of her life, because anything that was worldly or that was associated with evil or that would lead us down the wrong path. It was no, we don't want to go there. We want to stay close to Jesus and serve the Lord, and that was her life. And I thank my mother, and I know everyone can say the same thing about Mama, and she prayed fervently, and she was a pattern of sacrifice. When we lived out on the homestead for 3.5 years, we didn't have any power or no lights or indoor plumbing or anything. We hauled water from town, but my mother never complained, and she always washed on the rub board, and she was always happy, and anything that we needed, she was the first to sacrifice. Her rule was God and others first, and she would just be last. And I appreciate that, and I don't want to take all day because I could go on and on. I think my mother is famous. If you will turn on the back of your brochure, you'll see a poem. It's The Legacy, and I have shared that all over about my mother because it just fits her to a perfect T. She left a legacy with all of us that we should serve the Lord and love the Lord, and that life was a pilgrimage, and we all would be going to meet the Lord soon, and we needed to live in such a way as we would always be prepared, whatever happened. God bless you, everyone.